Hello everyone. In this video we will try to understand what EM and REM is. Okay, so in case of CSS, if you want to learn CSS and you want to build responsive website, so these are the important things to learn. So inside the body we have this H1 EM versus REM example, and so and we have a div, right? So inside this div we have this line. This box uses, and this has two classes, box class and box rem class, and we have a parent. Okay, parent class div, and inside this div we have this paragraph, and we have this same div again. Okay, so this box uses strong for padding and font size, uses EM, and this box uses REM. Okay, so two different div. This div is using REM and this div is using EM. Okay, so let's see the difference by taking the CSS one by one. So if we just take the HTML font size 16 pixel, okay, so let's say if you provide here font size 16 pixel, so you see everything is by default everything is like this. Okay, so EM versus REM, this is the H1. So H1 is, by default H1 is 2 REM, right? By default H1 is you know a 2 say 32 pixel, right? So okay, if we just change it, let's say 10 pixels, what happens? Let's see the change. You see, so that means this is 20 now and everything is 10 pixel. So if we just provide 32, so then maybe H1 is becoming this one is becoming 64 and everything is 32, right? So let's put it 16. So this is how we need to keep doing experiments, guys. Okay, so you see, guys, now things are like this. This is 32 and everything is 16 and so on. Okay, so now we will take the body font family, body, and font family of this body is sans serif, right? Sans serif. So let's see the change. So this is sans serif, guys. Okay, and we have padding. So if you provide padding 20 pixel, so let's see if any change we see. So now see, you can from top, left, right, bottom, from every side we get 20 pixel padding, right? So now H1. So if we take the H1, if we take the H1, these things are, as a beginner you need to keep doing experiment, guys, otherwise you can't learn anything. Font size 2 rem, right? So font size 2 rem, H1's font size is 2 rem. So let's see. Okay, so okay, 2 rem, and margin bottom is 20 pixels. So let's see if we provide this, so there should be a gap, more gap, margin. So here it was, little bit down, but it the space is reduced little bit, right? Okay, what about this one? If we just remove this, let's see what change we see. We don't actually see any change. Font size 2 rem. Okay, so we have to ask ChatGPT about this H1, right? So Excellent question. You're thinking exactly like CSS Pro. Okay. Font size. What does it have? What is happening here? Font size 2 rem relative to HTML font size. You already said HTML 16 with 2 rem, 2 into 16, 32 pixel. Here H1 text size is 32 pixel. Okay. So by default our H1 is 32 pixel also. So if you just change this to 3 rem, so then you can see some change. You see now it's uh, 48. So if you provide here 4, then you will see the change. Okay, so as we are giving 2 rem and uh, H1 is by default 32 pixels, so this is why we don't see that change, right? H1 by default. Super question. Let's uncover the mysteries. Your browser itself H1 default font size, but what is it depends on browser. Okay, browser's user agent style sheet. Most modern browser H1 says 2 rm 32 pixel. So as my uh, browser says 32 pixel for H1, I don't see any change, right? Exactly, you're spot on. There is the reason. Okay. Um, by default, most browsers set H1 to 32 pixel. Okay. What is the rule of? I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, this is the rule that targets the HTML element of the web page. Why is it important? The HTML element is root element of HTML document, and everything inside is HTML. Why is this important? Any CSS rule applied to HTML element affects the whole document because it's the root container for everything. Common uses for HTML: setting the base font size. You can set the font size for the entire web page using HTML selector. This is a common method for. Okay, this means. Uh, okay, so what we can do, just change the HTML 16 pixel to 10 pixel, right? If you change this to 10 pixel, then this would be 20, and all other things would be 20, right? You see, this is the change we see. We can change here maybe 20 as well. So if you change it to 20 pixel, then H1 would be 240, right? Yeah, so this is the thing we are dealing here. We need to keep doing experiments, guys. Okay, so just watching tutorial and doing nothing won't help us. And now we have box, right? So background color would be light blue. So box, so this color of this, right? This will get the background color of light blue. So let's see the change. Background color would be light blue. So these are the thing, it's getting light blue color. And now we have margin bottom 20 pixel. So from the bottom side it will get margin bottom 20 pixel. So you see, from the bottom it's getting 20 pixel margin, and border radius 8 pixel. So corners, these things you see, border radius 8 pixel. And okay, so box rem, so let's deal with this now. When you do this box rem, padding 2 rem, so let's just see the change. Okay, padding 2 rem, when you do this padding 2 rem, you see this is getting the 2 rem padding. So 2 rem means, guys, 32 pixel, right? 32 pixels of padding, and this box rem is getting this, and this box em will get different css. And font size 1.5 rem, so that means, guys, 24 pixel, right? Because our html font size was 16, so 16 means 1, guys. Okay, so 16 means 1, and zero point 0.5 means 8, so 16 plus 8 is 24. Okay, and now we will deal with the box, we will deal with the parent. Okay, so parent, if you see the parent font size is 20 pixel, right? So when you do the uh, parent's font size, parent, so what is the parent? We need to see here these. Okay, so font size 20 pixel, this line and this line, see the change. Okay, so this and this line. Okay, so these lines, you know, font size is 20 pixel. So now we have box em, box em. Okay, so padding 2 em, so if you do the padding 2 em, so parent's font size is 20 pixel. So if you do 2 em, then 2 into 20, so 40 pixel would be, okay, it's getting 40 pixel, and font size 1.5, so 20 into, that means, guys, it would be 30. Okay, font size would be 30. You see the change. These are the difference between two things, guys. Okay, so em and rem, right? Okay, so our file was em versus rem example. Okay, so we just need to, read the thing again, because So rem related to the root element, usually html, and em is usually related to uh, em is relative to the parent element's font size, and rem is related with the root, right, like html. When to use what? Global sizing like layout spacing, then we will use rem, right? And component spacing scaling, we will use em. Button cards, etc. inside containers, use em. Typography scaling with browser, we will use rem. So these are the practices we will do when we do projects, right? Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you understood what I wanted to show you.